Today I'm looking at a bunch of different cards with some pretty nice potential at various price points, all for different reasons. So let's dive right on in here, and the first thing I'm looking at from the ever-fantastic Paldean Fates set is certainly not going to be one of the big chase cards on here, so no, I am certainly not looking at the Charizard, Bubble Mew, or the Gardevoir. Instead, I'm looking at that kind of second tier on here for one of these shiny Pokemon cards, and what's nice is they all have a really similar trajectory. The growth looks very similar in all the data, and you can choose your entry point, and you really can't go wrong. So you have the Pikachu right on here, the Snorlax, or you can really either do the Ditto or the Charmander. But we'll take a quick look here at the shiny Pikachu card, and take a look at the chart, and you're gonna get this burn in your head because it's gonna come up again. Because since January right on here, when it sat in the low 30s, it's climbed quite considerably, hitting at that $80 mark right on now. So that's a big jump, big increase here over the last few months with a pretty steep entry point for this card. But if I go back on here and we take a look at the Snorlax, I had a bit of a cheaper one, a touch under 60. Like I said before, the growth, that jump there, the same sort of consistency. And if I go back again, let's take a look at the Ditto, who's really becoming really popular since Pokopia came out. And the same sort of thing, right? It was hovering in this $20 range, and it's doubled. And if I check out the Charmander here, and you can't go wrong with any of these choices, I'm just looking at which one you would prefer for the entry point. But the other most attractive option is going to be this Charmander here, a touch under 40. And that same big jump, big increase on here. This one, however, is going down a little bit, which means that there is more opportunity here to monitor the Charmander. But I really like all of these shiny cards from Paldean Fates, which is an absolutely fantastic specialty set in its own right. And it offers you more affordable cards for appreciation. Certainly not the top 3 chase cards in the set, but any one of these 4 shiny cards, I think, have nice growth, and they really do look good. And you get popular Pokemon as part of this specialty set. I think that's going to be great for the future. Now to look in a completely different direction, but still very expensive, we took a look here at the ever-fantastic Kingdra EX promo card from the Shrouded Fable collection box. And this one's more, you know, it's pricier for what it is, but for what it is absolutely fantastic, right? Because look at the artwork on this. This promo and the Greninja counterpart are really fantastic cards, and the price reflects that. But unlike the previous ones that we looked at, I think that the price is just going to go up and up and up, and it's basically guaranteed to do so because of how good it is. And take a look at the graph. It kind of looks like a ladder, or stairs rather, going up, 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 right? Here's a step, and then it stagnates. A big step up, and then it stagnates. Another step up, and it's going to keep climbing, climbing, climbing as it reaches new ceiling prices, because this card really is just fantastic. And there's no reason to think that this price will ever go down, certainly not the further we get away from when it's released in stores. And I hate that I saw a bunch of these boxes, both this and the Greninja, and didn't pick them up. However, for under $90, you're getting fantastic promo artwork, maybe the best promos of the entirety of the Scarlet and Violet era on there. And the price is not going down, so this is definitely one to get in on if you can. And now we take it in a bit of a different direction on here for this next card. We're looking at Terapagos EX from the kind of overlooked Stellar Crown set right on here. This is kind of the marquee special illustration rare from this set, and I know Terapagos isn't going to be anyone's favorite Pokemon right now. Maybe 20 years from now when that era grows up. But still, for a special illustration, that's kind of the crowning Pokemon, if you would, from the Stellar Crown set, going for about $40, I think that's really good. And I know, Stellar Crown is kind of identified by the 2 illustration rare chase cards in the Bulbasaur and Squirtle, which you see pictured right on here, which are certainly fantastic in their own right. But those ones are going for 100, which makes perfect sense. So getting the special illustration for under 40, the main card, I guess, in the Stellar Crown set, while the price continues to drop quite considerably, especially from where it was at, it's almost at half of its high. Not from its onset, but half of its high from where it was. about a year and a half ago, I think there's a lot of growth potential there. You're buying a card when it's down, which means, hopefully, it only has room to go back up considerably far into the future. So this is a little bit of a wild card option. And to kind of continue on that train of thought of wild cards, let's take a look here at the Gouging Fire Special Illustration Rare from another overlooked set on here on Temporal Forces, but the debut Special Illustration Rare card here of Gouging Fire is fantastic. Even if I understand Gouging Fire isn't going to win any popularity contests, just as the Terrapagos before it, but we take a look at the price action on here, and the price has actually been very, very consistent in that it never really dropped below $40 as one of the bigger cards in an overlooked set. But these overlooked sets do have ways of appreciating just as well as the more popular sets do for a variety of reasons. But if you take a look at it on here, price going down, 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 and here we go. Right in March, the price is starting to climb, 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 and climb. So this is kind of like a, not necessarily a buy low candidate, since it never really cratered out. Certainly not the way that the previous card Terrapagos did, but there is potential here for this Special Illustration Rare. And if I look at the Temporal Forces set on here, and you see that the top chase card, again, this is not a big set. There's not even a $100 chase card yet. It's actually the Ghastly Illustration Rare, unsurprisingly. But take a look at some of the other ones, right? You have the Raging Bolt Special Illustration Rare here, going for under 70, and this one's also fantastic. And I may even like this one more, but I like the value more of the Gouging Fire with its potential growth for where it's at and what I've seen here on this graph. But you really can't go wrong with either of those two. I think they're both great. Or if you wanted to go for the third option here, the Walking Wake, which is my personal favorite of these three Pokemon. But this one is also a pretty good one as well. And, you know, getting any of them in that $50 to roughly $70 range for that special illustration of an underrated set, I think that's pretty good. Or overlooked set, that is. I think that's pretty good for what you can do. Which brings us to the last of the choices on here. And unlike the previous two cards from very overlooked sets that are not going to be super popular and weren't, we take a look at the exact opposite. And I'm looking at the ever-beloved 151 set from Scarlet and Violet, but I'm actually going for a cheaper option on here, and I'm really surprised at these prices. Not because the top cards are all super expensive, they obviously are for good reason, right? And I'm not just talking about these starters, I'm talking about really any of the big cards, the Zapdos as well, any of the illustration rares of the starter Pokemon, including this Charmander card, which is fantastic, but that price is pretty steep, man, almost $90. No, I'm actually going to go in the opposite direction. I'm going to go with the very surprising, affordable illustration rares. I'm looking at the Nidoking right on here, which I love. But the one that I really like most that stands out is this fantastic Caterpie card. I like when the graph is climbing considerably, but it hasn't jumped to a point where the price is out of touch and out of the range for a good entry point. And getting either this or the Nidoking for under $20 as an illustration rare in one of the most popular sets over the last few years is really, really great value. And if you actually look at the card, I love the card's artwork too. I like the different perspectives, the different positioning of the various Caterpies within the card itself, and I think that really holds up. I think Caterpie is a very popular, nostalgic Pokemon for a lot of people. And the price is just going to keep going up, right? This is one that is not going to get any lower. And these will considerably climb into the future. So getting either of these very affordable entry point illustration rare cards from Win 51, the Nidoking or the Caterpie, I think is great value. And that's just the lower end ones for this set for two fairly popular Pokemon. I mean, I would argue that maybe the Caterpie is even more popular than the Nidoking, which is kind of funny. But you could also look at the Dragonair as well as a more middling option for the same type of value play. Or certainly the fantastic Poliwhirl as well in the low 40s range. But you really can't go wrong. I just like the really good entry point on these illustration rares in this super popular 151 set. And, you know, you can get the Machoke here for a hair over 20, but even though I really like the artwork, it is Machoke. That's not one I would see, you know, super appreciating. But the other final reason I like these, and this is more for immediate, is that you can get these on eBay for under 20, so you're not paying for that $5 plus shipping that would be tacked on if you were going for like one of these lower $20 cards, right? So you're paying that eBay standard envelope fee for the Caterpie or Nidoking, which is like 70 cents. So it'll stay below 20 bucks right now if you're shopping on eBay specifically. So this is going to be my best value play pick of the entire video. But based off the based off the cards that I just went over, I give you a few options here for the first one in Paldean Fates. What do you think is the best play relative to its entry point right now? Because I gotta say, this Kingdra is really, really appealing, and so is the counterpoint for the Greninja as well. So let me know in the comments on there. We'll talk about it a bit. And these are my 5 cards for this week. Take care.